Okay, we're going to read the 512 Ants on Sullivan Street. This is the basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. This is one ant who carried a crumb from the basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. See their picnic bags? There's that ant. There are two ants with some pieces of plum. They followed one ant who carried a crumb. A crumb from the basket with goodies to eat that we packed for our picnic on Sullivan Street. There go four ants with a barbecue chip. They held it above them so they wouldn't trip. They trailed with two ants with some pieces of plum, who followed one ant who carried a crumb from the basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. Here comes eight ants with a crisp bacon strip. They chased four ants with the barbecue chip, who trailed two ants with some pieces of plum, who followed one ant who carried a crumb from a basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. My goodness. Now, 16 ants took a hard-boiled egg. They rolled it along with a kick from each leg. Look at them kicking it, rolling it. They followed eight ants with a crisp bacon strip. He chased four ants with a barbecue chip. He trailed two ants with some pieces of plum. Who followed one ant who carried a crumb from a basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. Then 32 ants hauled a wing and a leg. They trailed 16 ants with a hard-boiled egg. Who followed eight ants with a crisp bacon strip. Who chased four ants with a barbecue chip. Who trailed two ants with some pieces of plum. Who followed one ant who carried a crumb from a basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. Look at all that. These 64 ants spied some takeout Chinese. They carried the white paper carton with ease. Look at all of them ants carrying it. They chased 32 with wing and a leg, who trailed 16 with hard-boiled egg, who followed 8 with a crisp bacon strip, who chased 4 ants with a barbecue chip, who trailed 2 ants with some pieces of plum, who followed 1 ant who carried a crumb from a basket with goodies to eat that we picked for a picnic on Sullivan Street. Now, 128 ants grabbed some cheese and trailed the 64 with the takeout Chinese. Who chased the 32 with a wing and a leg, who trailed the 16 with the hard-boiled egg. See all that? Who followed 8 ants with a crisp bacon strip, who chased 4 ants with a barbecue chip, who trailed 2 ants with some pieces of plum, who followed 1 ant who carried a crumb from a basket with goodies to eat that we packed for a picnic on Sullivan Street. Then 256 ants yelled, "Hurry!" They spotted a fudge-covered cake on a tray. They pulled it and pushed it, but all of that fudge made the cake too heavy and it would not budge. Look, see the cake right there? That's what they're wanting next. Taking the cake was such a big chore that those 256 doubled once more. Then 512 ants, all ready to dine, picked up the cake and got right in line. Oh, look how many ants are there now. 512. That's a lot of ants. They followed the 128 ants with some cheese, who trailed 64 ants with takeout Chinese, who chased 32 ants with a wing and a leg, who trailed 16 ants with a hard-boiled egg. Who followed 8 ants with a crisp bacon strip, who chased 4 ants with a barbecue chip, who trailed 2 ants with some pieces of plum, who followed 1 ant who carried a crumb from the basket of goodies to eat that we packed from a picnic on Sullivan Street. By the time we're hungry and ready for lunch, our goodies were gone. There was nothing to munch, but the ants had a picnic with goodies to eat down in their ant hole on Sullivan Street. Look at there. They took all that food back to their little den. They had a feast. So the ants had their picnic that they were supposed to have. So they weren't hungry anymore, were they? They got the cake down there, but it took teamwork for it, right? All right. Hope you enjoyed it.